Okay, this is a CIS280 mobile app development week 2 Q&A scope. First, I want to go over some lab times that are available. Monday 8 to 4:30, Tuesday 8 to 8 p.m., Wednesday 1:30 to 5:30, Thursday 8 to 8, and then Friday 8 to 1. So schedule your times accordingly. Had some issues getting connected today at 3, so I apologize for being a little late on the connection. So I would schedule, if I was you, a lab time to come in and do your work. All homework as far as for coding assignments are not due until Monday at the end of the day. So if you don't have week 1's assignment done yet, and you've not been able to schedule time for the Mac lab, you can definitely take care of it tomorrow just before the end of the day. So you actually have until the end of night, Monday, 11:59 to complete week 1's assignment. Course success, make sure you read and do all reading assignments. The reading assignments are from week 1. The task had you bookmark a whole list of websites. Make sure that you bookmark those websites, because each week we'll have certain website resources for you to read. So make sure you've read those. Watch any podcasts that are out there for the assignment. Starting in week 2, there is a podcast out there already for week 2 assignment. There is also in all the assignment links original solutions, final solutions. Make sure and download those. And I suggest to carve out about 5 to 6 hours a week to complete your work, to make sure that you have plenty of time. And this week we're going to be going over variables in week 2 and touching base on variables. I do want to make note, it's in the calendar, but not announced it in week 1, but week 3's course, which is Monday that we normally meet, campus is closed Monday and Tuesday of next week, Monday for Labor Day and Tuesday for Faculty Development Day. And so we won't be having class a week from tomorrow, week 3, face-to-face, but I will have the podcast online for you to watch and do the normal in-class exercise and such, but it'll be online next week. So just be aware of that. So that's pretty close there. Make sure that you, before you come to class tomorrow, just go over the reading for week 1. That would be helpful, and making sure you've got that completed before you come to class. And the reading is found again each week. You'll see a reading section, section in the module, and just make sure that you've done the reading. And we're still again focusing on the intro to Swift and variables. If you do have any questions, you can post them below, or you can just tap the screen that you understand what's going on thus far. That would be great. I'm going to go on with the presentation real quick. Also have something you should be looking at. Final resources. On the bottom of the slide here it says go to modules, course documents, final app discussion resources. Around weeks 4 or 5 you'll be deciding what your final app is, and make sure and avail yourself and go to that right now. It does have in there links to prior examples of semesters, what they've submitted and what they've worked on. Again, starting weeks 4 or 5, you'll have time to work on your final app and even use your final app as your assignment each week, adding whatever assignment I have out there. There's going to be options in, I believe, starting in week 5 to complete an assignment that I've given you, or you can add that to your final app. But app suggestions, I suggest looking at the App Store, the Apple App Store, for suggestions. You might also have suggestions from friends or family on apps. And again, remember the app types are utility app, gaming app, productivity app that you can choose from. And so if you go to modules, course documents, final app discussion resources, on that page, looks like this right here on this slide, will give you some helps to get started. The main thing is just getting started and to at least be thinking of what type of app you want to create. Even before you really were just beginning the course, it's a great idea to begin thinking of them now, thinking of app ideas now. And so again, you can ask your family and friends. It might be a workplace you work at that wants a certain app, and you could create it in the course. And so might as well use it within, use the course to create an app that you could actually use. Because you'll actually learn more that way. It'll become more in your long-term memory that way if you create an app of your choice that you could actually use. I do want to make mention of Tuesdays. Each Tuesday this semester, we're going to be having TechScope Tuesdays, and TechScope Tuesdays is basically going to be where we interview or give highlight certain things going on within the division. And on Tuesday, we're going to be interviewing Stephanie Washer from CIS division on some of the courses that we offer, some of the benefits of being a CIS student. We do have a CompTIA testing on campus that maybe most students are aware of, but there might be some that are not aware of it. And that's where you can take certification testing on site, and students get a discount. In some cases, you could get free resources for that as well. And so we'll be interviewing Stephanie on Tuesday. It'll be 3:30 to 3:45. And if you go to myrvc.org/TechScope, also on the main homepage of myrvc.org, there's an advertisement for TechScope that you can click on to find out more about it. So avail yourself to that. Now I'm going to switch to answer any questions you might have for week 2 coming up. The biggest question I usually have is, when lab times are. So I've already posted those on our site, so where you can schedule accordingly. There is no Saturday lab times, but if you go in on a Saturday and there's no class in there, you can slip in there and use the lab. There is one Mac out in the general computer lab that you can use, and so make sure and utilize that. Otherwise, again, schedule the lab accordingly to your work schedule and around your school schedule. But I literally grabbed every hour that classroom is open that no course is in, so that way you can utilize it to get your work done. And each semester, roughly about 50% of students do not have a Mac coming into the course and survive just fine getting your assignments done in the classroom by scheduling it accordingly. So hopefully you're getting your head wrapped around the code language of Swift by now, some of the examples that are online on your reading for the intro, and then just playing around with it yourself in class and in the lab outside of class. But I can't stress enough, I guess, nothing's going to replace actually you going in and playing with a Mac, especially those new to a Mac. It might just be helpful to schedule time to just learn how to get around the Mac environment. There is resources for that as well. If you go to the course module and look at the course documents, there are documents in there, links in there to help you just to get around the Mac. In fact, I'm going to go there right now to see if I can find the screen to show it to you here in the last few minutes. If you have any questions, again, you can type them in the bottom, or you can just tap the screen. It looks like we have 5 viewers. You can tap the screen, those viewers that are on. I got Pedro, Diane, and 3 on the web. If you're on the web, you're not able to comment, but you can make a comment in your Twitter, in my Twitter page at Professor Geek. If you have any questions and you're on the web, you can just post those questions there and I'll reply in the Twitter account. So let me go to our course page to show you a page on our class site to help you get around an Apple, a Mac device. I know some of you are new to Apple, so when I find this, I'll show it to you and it'll help you. Okay, I'm going to switch. Okay, so if you go to our course and go to modules, see if I can get this mounted on here to where it won't move around as much. So if you go to modules on our course site, and you'll scroll down here to resources, I believe it is. Suggested reference, that's what it is. Suggested reference, and there is a Learning Mac Basics. If you click on that link, it's going to send you to a page on how to get around the Mac interface and to tour the Mac interface. And I would suggest anybody new to a Mac, maybe just scheduling time for yourself to go in the computer lab to learn, take lessons here online through the Apple website on how to get around the Mac. And it goes over the Mac interface, using applications, connecting to accessories, internet Wi-Fi, transferring files, Windows on Mac, and switching PC habits, and then support. And so avail yourself to that to make sure that you've got everything that you need to get started with the Mac. So, no questions here. I'm going to go ahead and end the Q&A for today, and I will package this video and email everybody when it's finished, when I'm finished with it. And so you'll have a completed package. But thanks for everybody for joining, and I will see you tomorrow night in class at 4:30. All right? Oh, we had a question here. What is GitHub? GitHub is what we use in the course to upload our code. We will be using it to upload our code. It's a source control app that you can download to a Mac or Windows client, either one. We'll be using it on the Mac. And what we're going to do, I believe we start using it in week 3 or 4, where you will take your in-class assignments and literally post it to GitHub. And it's a nice place because to put your code, because once you're finished with your work and you upload it to GitHub, it's there. And so if you go to another Mac at home or on campus, you just download the latest and greatest code from your GitHub account. And so I believe GitHub is something you'll be setting up or setting up an account for here pretty quick. And you'll need to register a username, and they do have a .edu account for students that we'll go over. But to answer the question that was posted here about GitHub, it's what we're going to be using to manage your code. And it's basically a source control application that's totally free to use. And so that's what it is. Any other questions that you have before I end this scope? Good question, by the way. All right, great. Well, I will see everybody tomorrow at 4:30. Thanks for joining.